Welcome to We Drink and We Farm Things.
This is the farm comedy podcast that is an adult happy hour for the farming community.
We drink adult beverages, talk about the ups and downs of farming things, and give zero clucks about not having the perfect farm life.
We keep it real with you and share the mistakes we've made and what we've learned so you can feel less alone in this farm thing.
We drink things, we farm things. We drink and farm things.
Oh, hey there, Sam.
Oh, hey there, Bev. What festive thing did you just open over there?
I just opened a Mad Tree Holidays.
Oh, how cute.
And this is an IPA with spruce tips. And it was funny when I picked it out. I was like, oh, this would have been really good for our last episode since we talked about sprucing up your holiday small talk. But oh well.
Yes.
What did you open over there?
So I opened a Founders highly acclaimed KBS, which is a flavored stout. And it's maple Mackinac fudge.
It's a Kentucky bourbon stout or Kentucky breakfast stout. That's what the KBS stands for. Kentucky breakfast stout. Yeah. And those are so good.
Yeah, this is really good. So it's Mackinac fudge coffee, maple syrup, and chocolate aged in oak bourbon barrels. Highly recommend it. This one bottle, the place I bought it was $5.69. So It's like you bought breakfast in a bottle for sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Kentucky breakfast stout. The Founders is kind of known for theirs, and they do some different flavors of it. So, and around this time of year, because it's stout season, you can usually get a lot of really good ones.
It's delicious. It does not taste like beer.
No, and they're pretty high ABV too. So watch out on that one.
What is that? Yeah, good thing I'm not doing anything else today. 11%. Well, shoot.
Knew it.
I'm gonna be sipping this. I did not notice that. Yikes.
Put some plastic wrap over half of it and drink the rest tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Our drink peep this episode is our friend Ashley Kiernan, and she is at Ashley Kiernan over on the Instagram. So cheers, lady.
Cheers. So we're doing something a little different with this minisode. As we've talked about in our regular episodes, we have removed the can't even section from our regular episodes. And now we will both share our own can't even or two, depending on what we find, before we dive into the listener can't evens. And we do have a story to share this week too from a listener. So I'm very excited about this minisode. So Bev, what can't you even about this minisode?
All right, I'm going to kick it off with a potato the size of a small dog is found in New Zealand.
How small of a dog are we talking here?
I mean, I'd say a Chihuahua.
A Chihuahua. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a look at this while you're explaining it to our listenership.
Yeah, there's a picture of it inside like a toy, like dump truck type of thing. I definitely pulled some sweet potatoes out of my garden that were about that big. So maybe I should have taken some pictures of those and sent them to the news also. But anyways, this couple were weeding their garden in New Zealand when they hit something huge just below the soil surface. And when they bent down to dig around the object, they kind of thought it was like some sort of weird, strange fungal growth. But then they figured out that it was a potato and they were shocked. I'm assuming they didn't plant potatoes if they were surprised that they found a potato. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And this potato is pretty freaky looking. It's like super alien. It's huge. But they're saying that it's quite possibly the largest potato on record.
Wow.
Yeah, it weighs 17.4 pounds. So now I'm going to dig out my biggest sweet potato and weigh it, because my sweet potatoes maybe weren't that big. They probably should have picked something different to take the picture of the scale of it.
Well, if you scroll down, because I scrolled down on the article, and we'll put this on the YouTube episode. the lady that dug it up.
Oh, now I see it. She's holding it.
Looks like a turkey to me, like a little, oh my gosh, it kind of looks like a walrus without tusks, like cuddled up.
Yeah.
Look at his face, look at the cheeks.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh, that is
weird, right?
insane.
You know
Yeah.
how some people see Jesus in vegetables and stuff? I just saw a walrus.
Yeah. And for some reason, that walrus makes me want to say indubitably. It's from a video game I played as a kid.
I love it.
So this potato has become something of a celebrity around their small farm near Hamilton, and they named the potato Doug after the way that he was unearthed. And apparently, one member of the couple actually built a cart so that they can tow Doug around town. That's how big of a celebrity Doug is. People want to see him around town. They put a hat on him. They put him on Facebook. They take him for walks to give him sunshine. I love it so much.
I'm a little out there. Like, it just comforts me to know that there are others out there that just let their freak flag fly freely.
Yeah. So they have gone in and submitted for a world record for it, but Guinness hasn't replied back on an update on their application. And it turns out that the people who found this potato don't have any secret gardening tips. They just throw a bunch of cow manure and straw into their garden and see what happens. And they had actually been growing cucumbers in that area of their garden before the weeds took over, and they hadn't planted any potatoes. Yeah. So he must have self-sown and quite possibly had been growing for a couple of years or more. And I could totally see that because my potatoes from early season that I left all the way through the end of fall, they were pretty ginormous. Like, I think my biggest sweet potato was like somewhere around like that big, which is a pretty decent sized sweet potato. I gotta take a picture of it because I have to make sweet potato casserole later today anyway, so might as well. Yes. And it turned so they're not really sure exactly like how this potato showed up. I will say though, I find wild potatoes in my garden sometimes because we get soil trucked in, just like top dress all the beds. I always pull those and chuck them though, because there are poisonous wild potatoes. And I'm not well versed enough to know the difference between the poisonous wild ones and the ones that, like, you know, there's just a stray bud somewhere in this pile of soil and you end up growing a potato. So my rule of thumb with potatoes is if I didn't plant it, I don't eat it.
That's fair. Fair.
It does seem pretty fair. You can usually tell though, because the ones that aren't really meant for eating don't typically get that big. So that's helpful also. It turns out that after the potato has been dug up though, Doug has been a little bit of a pain to keep healthy because he's been drying out and losing weight, and mold has started growing from his wounds. And he's getting, they said, a little pungy. So he's talking about the way the potato smells.
Yes.
So now the potato is in the freezer.
His days are numbered. He's on hospice in the freezer.
Yeah, there's no walking Doug around anymore after this.
No, there's no going back after you get put in the freezer.
No, there really isn't. But they are talking about turning Doug into vodka. So there's that. I mean, this story is just the story that keeps on giving.
I mean, you would only break that vodka out in the biggest occasions.
Yeah, especially if it turns out Doug is a Guinness Book of World Records holder. Yeah. Wow. I feel super inspired to try to grow potatoes again, because my experience this year was very limited and not super impressive yield for what I had to do. So maybe I'll give it a go again just to see if I can grow my own Doug. Yeah. My potatoes didn't do very well this year either. My sweet potatoes did amazing. Potatoes in the same bed, we're just kind of like, meh. In fact, we bought potatoes for Thanksgiving dinner because I didn't want to use all of the potatoes I dug up for the mashed potatoes. Because I make enough food for 40, even though there's only 6 of us.
Yeah, leftovers are my jam though.
Me too. Me too. So what is your can't even for this minisode?
So my can't even is from a land far, far away from us. So this takes place in Brazil. So the title of the article is Steer Spared Slaughter After Water Slide Adventure in Brazil.
What?
Yes. And there's video, but I'll describe what's happening here. So a cattle farmer in Brazil said a steer escaped slaughter and ended up on the water slide at a neighboring club. So now he will be kept as a pet. So this is a 2-year-old steer. He escaped from the cattle farm and made his way to the water slide. Maybe he had it on his bucket list. I don't know. But he showed up there. So he actually got like on the slide and slid halfway down before coming to a stop. So in the video, you can see a man roping the steer and leading it the rest of the way down the slide and into the water.
Oh my gosh. I'm watching the video now. Oh.
So he is now a local celebrity. He hangs out in that area now. He doesn't have any injuries. He's fine, but people want to know him. So the steer has now been dubbed Tabago or Tabaga, a Portuguese word for slide.
I like it.
The end. Yes. So,
oh my gosh.
I mean, if a steer does that, part of me is like, well, is that steer just going to be a pain in the ass the rest of its life and go on these crazy adventures? Because that's not fun for the humans. But I mean, how do you take him out after he does something so epic?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that once livestock get out and find that adventure, it can be hard to keep them contained again because they like that, I don't know, dopamine rush from the adventure. I don't know.
They get bored, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that is too funny and that is too cute. Well, I'm glad that he gets to be a pet though. That's fun. I have a pet cow and I'm a big fan of it. So
yes,
5 out of 5 would recommend.
All right. So on to our listener can't evens.
Oh, and I'm so excited.
Yes. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one because this is my friend Emily Collins. So I know Emily in real life.
I love that.
Yeah. And she shared a can't even from her local Costco. So it turns out, she says, this is amazing. Small town life is new to me. Costco is currently renting goats to clear out their overgrown lot next door. Hashtag I can't even. And it's really cool. She posted some pictures of it and it's Rent a Room in It LLC. She's in Washington. So that's where this came from. And there's signs up around the fencing, the temporary fencing that they put up for the goats to clear the lot. And it tells people all about like why they use goats to clear the lot. And that's really cool. So there's like a bullet list of the pros of using the goats and frequently asked questions. That way when people stumble upon it, it's like, what is this? I can point to the sign and people can learn something. So that's pretty cool.
Yes. Our next one is from our friend and team member, Katie. And it is a hilarious series of photos of the Pensacola Police Department trying to chase down a pig. And this looks like a Ham Pickles pig. So it looks like a Juliet pig or maybe a younger potbelly pig. Pigs are fast, guys. I don't know if you know this. They're fast. And if they're scared, they will outsmart you. So definitely take a look at some of these pictures. We'll put some of them in the YouTube video as well. But it's just, it's so funny. And I can hear like the squealing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hear it just staring at these pictures.
Our next can't even is from Elise Ferguson. And she posted a TikTok video that was shared by Linda Bailey. And the caption on the TikTok video is places to go and a laughy face. And it is goats that appear to be stuck in a chicken tractor.
Well,
and they're
here's
just
the
running
thing.
around.
I'm not sure if this is on purpose or not, because if it's on purpose, it's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
But they're in this little cart thing that has wheels. So if the goats move and push the cart moves, but it keeps the goats contained.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
smart if you don't want to put up a fence.
I'm looking at it and I'm kind of like, maybe I could use my goats to like do some weed clearing on the edge of the woods or something like this. But here's what would happen at my place, because I have hills.
Oh God. Oh no.
I don't
They'd take a
even have to
tumble.
describe it. Yeah.
You would have to make a big perimeter fence for where they were okay going.
Yeah.
'Cause, well,
Yeah.
they would go sledding.
Yeah. Or they would like go start running down the road or something. And who knows
Just
where they'd end up.
disaster. Yeah.
But oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it totally looks like a chicken tractor because it's not very big. But I also
Yes.
like don't see anything in it that's like chicken related either. So this totally might be on purpose. You guys will have to check it out. You can tell us what you think. Do you think this was on purpose, or did they get into something they weren't supposed to and now they're trapped in this cart thing just running around?
So it's been a minute since we've had somebody send us a listener farm story. So this is just a reminder. If any of you have a farm story, you can call us and tell us the farm story. Just know that the voicemail is going to cut you off after like 2 or 3 minutes. Or you can write it and email it to us at drinkandfarm@gmail.com. So we really do enjoy these.
We do.
Do you want me to read the farm story to you, Bev? Or do you want to read it?
I will let you read the farm story.
Okay. And I've just skimmed this to make sure it was appropriate. So I am really reading this for the first time. So it starts off by saying, "Hi, ladies. First of all, thank you for all that you do. I love listening to the podcast every week and being part of this community. The episode on preparing for winter reminded me of a farm story from when I was about 16. To set the scene, I grew up on some acreage that was a few miles up a gravel road and then another half mile down a windy 1-car lane. Usually we are lucky to get a dusting of snow. However, one year we had a freak snowstorm that knocked out our power for weeks and the snow stayed around knee deep. We had to park the truck on the main road and hike the last half mile into the house so we wouldn't get stuck, because if we did, no tow truck was coming. In the midst of this snow apocalypse, we ran out of hay. Oh God. With 4 hungry horses, no end to the snow in sight, we needed a plan. My dad goes out and then calls to say he's at the end of the lane with an emergency bale of hay. He asked if my sister and I could come down and help him. So we trudged down there and discover an odd sight. Apparently, every store was sold out of sleds and the sled-like material, so my dad opted out for a plastic storage tub. Oh gosh. The bale was sitting awkwardly in the tub, and my dad was tying a rope around his waist and shoulders. His plan? He would play the part of Balto with us, pushing the tub from behind for half a mile up and down hills and through 3 feet of largely unpacked snow.
Oh my gosh.
So we started to push. We would only get a couple of feet before we had to lift it up or adjust it. It was painfully slow and the tub started to crack. A piece broke
frozen.
A piece broke off and then another. Our makeshift sled was disintegrating. As we crested the top of the last hill, we were down to a tiny piece of tub left on the bottom of the bale with broken pieces of plastic in a trail behind us.
Oh no.
I was sure we weren't going to make it and that the bale would be lost in the snow until springtime. But my dad rallied and let out a battle cry. He took off running downhill through the snow, still tethered to that hay bale. The last bit of plastic went flying off and the bale was swinging wildly behind him as he ran the rest of the way to the barn, hollering at the top of his lungs. To this day, it's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen. We were still finding pieces of tub well into the next summer. While we couldn't have anticipated a freakishly long and intense snowstorm, we could have definitely been a little better prepared for winter. It was a good lesson, and I'll never take a sled for granted again. Cheers, Rachel.
Oh my gosh, Rachel,
Such a
thank
good
you
story.
for sharing that story. I can picture your dad doing that.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know what I would have done.
I mean, I can just imagine, like, as an adult now and trying to keep some kind of good attitude in front of your children, like that battle cry was because he was probably about to lose his shit and just wanted to get it over with, but also make it crazy and fun and memorable at the same time. That is my guess, and that is total good parenting move in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it totally
Wonderful.
is. Oh, I love it. And how creative to try to figure out how to pull it, like, because a half mile to carry a bale. I mean,
It's
gosh,
heavy.
I have a hard time carrying a bale by myself just across the barn because they're awkward.
Yes, they're very awkward and heavy.
Yeah. Oh man. So we have some listener follow up today to read also. And this was sent in to us from Sarah S. And she says, I'm super behind on the podcast. I usually listen in my car, and due to COVID, I've been working from home still a ton. Anyway, I just listened to the episode on starting a farm business, and it's got me super pumped. We've been ramping up actual farm business stuff, and I have so many ideas. Thank you for the suggestion on actually writing up a business plan. No idea why I never thought of that. And she has some advice for Sam. She says, Sam, if you start any more LLCs in Michigan, you can do it fully online. The Lara website, it's LARA, is just not the most user-friendly, but I'd be happy to walk you through it if you need to do it again. I finally started our farm LLC this year, and I know I need to do the annual renewal before the 2/15 due date, but that should all be online too. And once you guys get comfortable with the Are You a Farm or Not for Tax Purposes, the TurboTax Small Business Schedule F module is actually pretty good. But I totally agree with seeking a tax professional in the beginning. After that, if there aren't too many changes during the year, it's pretty easy to prep taxes, same as last year. Thanks for a great episode. And we will link to that episode in the show notes so you guys can go check that out. And listen to that episode because that was a really good episode. I enjoyed doing that farm business episode because I got to mix business with farming, which is basically my life.
Yeah. And I did start a second LLC for like a media company. Because you can't really necessarily justify the sale of certain things like t-shirts under a farm. So I have separate and figured, if I make any money from this podcast too, it can just go there too. So I did do it again, and I did figure it out. I Googled just the right thing to get a direct link to the Lara website because it's garbage. It's straight up hot garbage. It's like, why do I pay taxes if this kind of website is just straight up hot garbage? That's my feeling towards it. I get very passionate about crappy websites because there are so many tools out there for you now that you have really no excuse.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I understand there's some security things that probably have to be kept in mind when you have a regulatory licensing website. However, all of the state of Michigan's websites that I've dealt with are like that. So it's just trash. But I did figure it out. So thank you, Sarah. The renewal piece I might come to you about because my renewal will be a couple months after yours. So I might be sliding into your DMs for that one.
So you have to renew your LLC in Michigan
every year. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I guess I should double check if you have to do that in Ohio. I don't think you do though. You didn't in Arizona when you registered for an
like a money
LLC.
grab to me.
You registered for it in perpetuity. You like checked a box and said perpetuity, and then it's just exists until you give it up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it feels like a money grab to me, if I'm being honest.
How much do they charge you to relicense?
I don't know what the relicense was, but I think it's only $50 to start it if you do it directly on the website.
Okay.
So
it's not too bad. See, I paid $100 to start it in Ohio, but I don't have to renew it.
Yeah. I would rather pay a hundo. Yeah.
And just be done with it and never have to file anything again.
Right. And not have to justify myself to the state monthly. I already do that enough with taxes.
Right.
And rant, get off soapbox. Can you tell I'm already stressed about taxes for next year?
Oh, yeah, just a little. What can you do?
All right. So that's it for today's mini-sode. We hope you enjoyed. Please send us your can't evens in the Facebook group. Like bonus points, not that the points really matter if it's like seasonal, because that'll make December super fun, but we'll take anything. We just like to be entertained and shocked and put into amazement.
Yeah.
And then send us your farm stories too, because that one was super fun and I loved every second of it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, it was. So just some housekeeping and announcements before we're all done for today. Be sure and hit the subscribe button and download the episode when you listen. This helps more people like you find this podcast.
And leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts to be entered into a monthly drawing. We have gotten a few, but we're still going to pause and pick reading those back up in January, because we want to try to get a little ahead in December, like we said before, so we can have a little more time with our families.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Feels good to get into a better groove and a better balance with the podcast life and the
holiday
regular life
anxiety.
And holiday. my fancy Christmas anxiety.
Yes, exactly.
It's sparkly.
It's so sparkly and smells a little boozy.
Like eggnog.
Yes.
Do us a favor and share this episode over on Instagram in your stories. If you tag us at Drink and Farm, we will send you a promo code that will give you a percentage off in our shop. Make sure that you tag us, send us a message if you didn't hear back from us or something. I do try to log into there at least once a day to make sure that I can check all of those and respond to everybody's messages, because I love it. I absolutely love it when you guys share stuff about us and tag us at Drink and Farm. So keep doing that. And you get a discount code if you share about the episode. So what's not to love?
And don't forget to check out today's show notes. You'll find links to all the important things like our social media, our merch shop, our holiday shop, and a bunch of other fun things. Oh, and a quick announcement too. If you want to order anything from the Drink and Farm shop or the holiday 2021 shop, you must place your order by December 5th for guaranteed holiday delivery. You can absolutely order after that, but most of our stuff is done through a third-party printing service and we have no control over that. And then really once we give it to USPS, it's like in their hands.
Yeah.
So set yourself up for success and put your order in by December 5th.
Yeah, that will help. We'll probably pull all the holiday stuff out by December 10th or so, because by then it definitely isn't going to make it on time. December 5th is our last day that we're guaranteeing it'll make it there by the holidays. But if you want to do some holiday shopping after that date and your gift doesn't show up, let us know, because we'll be happy to write a note to the person that you are getting the gift for. We can include a picture of it and whatnot and email it over to you so that you still have something to wrap and put under the tree and say, hey, this thing's coming along. But we have gift cards too. So that is always an option too. Be happy to write a note for a gift card, so that the person that you're buying a Drink and Farm gift for can shop for themselves whenever they get it, but still get something fun from us.
Yes. So that's it.
Yeah.
We hope you have a wonderful post-American Thanksgiving. We're officially in Christmas music season.
Yeah.
So enjoy that.
I mean, and Christmas beer season. What's not to love about that?
Yes. Christmas beer, Christmas cookies, Christmas cocktails, Christmas everything. So
Fancy Christmas everything.
Until next time,
drink,
farm,
and give 0+.
We
Bye
drink
now.
things, we farm things. We drink and farm things.